I'm planning on abandoning my family as soon as I turn 18. My family sucks. I, 17 male, turn 18 in 2 weeks and I'm getting the fuck out of here as soon as the clock strikes midnight. My parents have extreme bias towards my younger brothers, 16 and 15 male. It's been like this forever. I have no idea why. I've always been the one who had to do all the chores in the house. I also have always been forced to play every single sport I possibly could to the point where my schedule was packed 365 days a year. My father told me he would teach me to be a real man, but my brothers never had to do any of that shit. They're both fat, lazy fucks who sit around and play video games all day and all night. They miss school at least 30% of the year and are constantly spoiled rotten by my parents. They already have thousands of dollars from birthdays, Christmases, and other holidays. As soon as I turned 12, I was told I would no longer ever be receiving gifts from my parents other than bare essentials. I was told I had to pay for my phone and any other expenses I wanted and to never ask for anything. I wasn't able to own a phone or anything really special for myself until I was 16 because I couldn't find any actual jobs that paid good money. My parents also expect me to take care of my younger brothers when I'm an adult. My younger brothers have both decided that they will not be going to college and do not plan on working a day in their lives. My father told me, "We kept you alive, you owe it to us." Screw you. I'm leaving a nasty letter on the table when I leave and changing my phone number, emails, and everything. They will never be able to contact me no matter how hard they try. I know that my younger brothers are going to be screwed for life since they have zero experience on how to survive in the real world, but I don't care. That's my parents' burden now. I hope they go broke from having to fund my brothers' lifestyles, and I hope they lose everything. I have no sympathy for these people, and I will never feel bad no matter what happens to them. The only thing I owe to my parents is the fact that because of their shitty treatment over the years, I am well capable of surviving on my own in the world. I'll be going to college to study finance in Virginia. They have no idea I've been accepted to any college, never even asked. And I'm also very physically fit due to playing 6 sports a year. They took away my entire childhood and I will never forgive them for it. They can all go screw themselves. Part 2. Leaving my toxic family when I turn 18. I'm happy to report that I'm officially gone. So things have been crazy stressful, but I'll sum it up. I changed my number a few days ago by calling my SIM card provider. Then I went and got a copy of my birth certificate since I don't know where my actual birth certificate was. And I also made sure to check that my bank account was secure and not shared with my parents. I purchased a plane ticket to fly into Dulles International Airport in Virginia, just outside where I'll be attending college in Fairfax. Finally, I called one of my cousins, whom I'm very close with, and asked him to please pick me up around 12:30 in the morning. He agreed with my decision to leave and told me that he was proud of me for taking action to improve my life. I packed all my stuff after everyone had gone to sleep and I waited. I decided to keep my note to my family short and sweet. All I wrote down was that I was moving to go to college in California and that I was never coming back. So my cousin came and picked me up. We went to the police station where I gave them my proper identification and informed them that I'm not missing and I'm leaving on my own accord now that I am 18. They told me that they'll keep it in mind and watch out for a call. I got a few hours of sleep at my cousin's and then flew out to New Orleans International at 6 in the morning. I sat in my college dorm room 950 miles from home and had never been happier in my entire life. Life has been so good. I've been in contact with my cousin who helped me and also a few family members from back home. He said that my mother came to their house the day after I left to talk to my aunt about me leaving. She cried and gave my aunt this whole sob story about how she can't believe I would abandon them, and my aunt told her maybe she shouldn't have treated me so wrongly throughout my entire life, which caused a huge fight and ended my mom being thrown out of their house. So it seems that me leaving has caused pretty much the uproar I imagined. I'm in a better mental state than I've been in a very long time. I feel so relieved and it just feels like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I, 16 male, was born to my mom when she was 15, and I've never known my real dad. My mom didn't drop out of school or anything, and the year after I was born, she started dating Jack, and when they went to university, I obviously got left behind with my grandparents. Mom and Jack got good degrees, got married, and moved to a city by Vancouver. My mom's always been in my life. She would still come home every weekend just to cuddle me, and she would always give me these nicknames, but calling me her special guy would be her favorite one. She'd always bring me back presents and gifts and spend the whole time playing with me. She's the one who paid for my tutoring and after school stuff and would try and make it to games and stuff like that. Jack wouldn't always come with her, but it was always fun when he would. He's taken me fishing with him a lot of times, and we even went camping for 2 weeks together once, but never again because I hate camping. However, when I was 10, my mom and Jack had a daughter and then another girl 3 years ago. I don't really know them, especially because my mom stopped coming over as much after they were born. We don't cuddle anymore. We did that on my birthday, but that's it. No more cute nicknames for me except special guy. It's like they all got transferred to her daughters. No more gifts, and the worst part is she doesn't come to my games anymore. It was okay with me before because they still had a spare room in their house and I could go there when it's time for university. Yesterday, my mom FaceTimed me and she had a big announcement that she was going to have another baby and it was a boy, and now she'd have 2 special guys. I guess she saw how sour my face was because she asked what's wrong, and I don't know, I just admitted how jealous I was that her daughters got so much more and now her son was going to get her and there wouldn't even be space for me when I had to go to university. And I guess what I said affected her because she started crying and wouldn't stop and I had to hang up. My grandparents are mad that I made her upset and think that I don't value them now or something. Jack phoned me and he's mad because my mom thinks it's a mistake now to have another kid, and also mad at me because he was like, why would I ever think that they wouldn't have room for me? I feel like I really messed up by telling her that, and now here I am at school and I can't stop thinking about it. I won't lie. I've been suspecting that my fiance was having an affair, but I didn't have any solid evidence to accuse him. 12 days ago, I came home from visiting my mom's and I headed upstairs to wake my fiance, as he had a habit of sleeping in way past 2 p.m. and then complained that I didn't wake him. I open the door and all I see is my practically naked sister rushing to try to get out of the lingerie bodysuit that belonged to me. I don't know how to explain it. My mind just went blank, like whatever I was thinking about beforehand suddenly disappeared, you know? Like when you stand up so fast and your head just gets a little dizzy. That's what I felt alongside the feeling of sickness brewing in my stomach. I stood there for a solid 30 seconds looking at the two people that I trusted most look more shocked than I felt. My fiance jumped out of bed and suddenly came up with excuses. It went from, it was an accident, to, I was lonely and needed sexual relief. I probably should add that my best friend unalived herself 2 weeks ago. The girl I knew for over 15 years was suddenly out of my life, and even though I'm surrounded by people, I've told my fiance about how alone, devastated, and guilty I felt that I couldn't do anything to help her. I just left. I didn't take my car because at that point, my eyes were about to just start flooding. I walked to my friends, about 10 minutes, and confided in her about what had happened. The amount of grief I felt from not only losing a BFF, but losing my relationships with my fiance and my sister within the same 2-week period. Now I'm sitting here wondering if these relationships will ever be mended or could ever go back to the way that they were. I don't understand why my sister of all people would do this. There was never any favoritism toward any of us for her to feel spite. I have never intentionally tried to hurt her. I gave her shelter when she had no place to go, and despite her not paying a single penny, I bought her food that she liked. Made sacrifices in my own home for her. Hell, she kept ranting about how our living room walls gave her a headache. They were white. So I took time out of my day to paint it a nice gray color. My fiance too. I gave that man everything and I was willing to have kids with him despite the fact that I always wanted to be child free. I was going to start a family so that he was happy. I gave him comfort whenever something bad happened to him. I spent hours watching unfunny movies that he seemed to find hilarious. I even gave him an effing locket with our anniversary photo in it that he decided to wear while sticking it in my sister. These last days I went from sadness to being angry, then disgusted, and it's a constant cycle I've not been able to get out of. Despite being smoke free for 2 years, I picked up a cigarette. I don't know how to explain it properly as I've never felt this way, but I'm bored. Bored of eating. I have to physically force myself to eat something and I have no idea what's going on with my body at this very moment. For some reason, it feels as if I went into hibernation. I sleep almost 17 hours a day now, and even for the rest of those hours, I'm still tired and force myself to stay awake. Both of them asked to meet up on Wednesday. My sister's exact message was, "Hey, I know you probably don't want to hear from me right now, but can you meet me and fiance? And we want you to properly hear us out. The situation you found us in was not the most ideal situation to put you in a good headspace to talk about it right there and then. Please let us explain. I love you and you're my sister and I don't want to lose you. Please." I think it's too late. It was too late from whenever this affair started or when you started getting sexual desires for my fiance. I miss my sister, but according to what I saw, the sister I miss and whoever my sister is now are not the same person. I haven't talked to anyone yet except one friend that I'm currently staying with at the moment. I'm scared I'll be seen as a failure for a future wife, but now I don't even think that I want to be a wife anymore. Today I messed up by talking to my partner while they were asleep. I came home to find my partner asleep, so I carefully crawled into bed with them. I happened to have a lot on my mind, so after some time I started to speak quietly to them. I've never done this before, but it was cathartic to say my thoughts out loud. Since they were asleep, I told them things that I would never say to them if they were conscious. I am diagnosed with a major depressive disorder as well as generalized anxiety disorder. Lately, I've been in a severely bad mental state, so bad that I cannot get out of bed, take care of hygiene, go to work, you get the picture. I think about ending it every day. I am in conversation with my school administrators, work supervisor and HR, family and friends support system for accommodations during this time, and also have been meeting with all kinds of medical professionals in an effort to find something that helps lessen my mental anguish. I've seen many therapists and counselors, have been on multiple medications, do my best to maintain social relationships, and exercise. Nothing has helped. And being honest about how I'm doing when I was able to mask it and function for many years before is taking a toll on me. In talking to my sleeping partner, I told him about how much I hate how little control I have, how exhausted I am in the process of finding something that works. I expressed regret for how my condition is difficult for other people as well. And then I started talking about the future, a future that I don't see myself in. I talked about my options and plans to take my life, even made a joke about what his highly religious mother would say. Near the end, I rambled on about how amazing my time with him has been, how much I love him, how much I fear leaving him to deal with grief. I made a comment about how I sincerely hopes he finds someone he's excited to spend the rest of his life with after I'm gone. As I'm sure you've guessed it, he wasn't asleep for all of that. As far as I know, he only heard the very last bit, but that was enough to freak him out. As soon as I said my last, "I love you," and began to settle to sleep, he spoke. He asked what I meant when I'm gone. He asked if I was serious. In that moment, I didn't want to be honest, but I couldn't lie, so I just didn't answer. I'm sure that was answer enough. I feel so guilty. He really has been the most wonderful person to share the last many years of my life with, and my heart breaks for what I'm going to do to